Thanks, Mike. In today's Financial Focus, as you know, Steve is here discussing bribery, inflation, foreign governments collapsing, dogs and cats living together. I mean, that's
stuff, right?
It's a little harsh saying they're collapsing.
Yeah.
But we do have some problems overseas that are really affecting our markets and possibly the United States economy.
Yeah, we have a whole grab bag this morning. A lot of news came out, and let's top the charts. We talk about this, seems like every week. But in Europe, there was an election over the weekend in France, and I guess the more socialist party has made some real inroads, and the centrist party is getting hit a little bit. President Sarkozy's party is getting hit. Incidentally, the right wing is also gaining some traction. So you have a president there that has an election in a couple of weeks, and he's getting hit from both sides, and we'll see what happens. The interesting thing here is he supported this whole European bailout. So the other candidates that are now running are saying they'll undo it. So it's making the markets a little bit turbulent.
And it's the same story, different scenario in the Netherlands, where that government actually did sort of collapse.
Yeah,
in a way.
It did. There was elections over the weekend there as well. The Dutch, and we haven't put the Netherlands on the screen yet, again, which shows you how this is now widening. But the cabinet of the Dutch government resigned this morning because they didn't want to implement the austerity package that was necessary for the Dutch to get on board with the European bailout. So you're just seeing government after government is meeting resistance and having trouble implementing some of these really hard policies. So what happens going forward on May 6th when the French go to the polls and the Greeks go to the polls will be very interesting.
Now to the world's largest retailer meeting resistance with money. There's a bribery scandal, a huge one, involving Walmart and Mexico, and that's having a huge effect on the markets because of the stock.
Well, it is, and Walmart Mexico is a subsidiary of the main company, so there's a separately traded stock, Walmart Mexico, but what's happened here is there's allegations by a whistleblower that elected officials in Walmart have been bribing Mexican officials to get stores open, to fast-track certain licensing requirements. Now, as I've been reading through the story, they're not sure how valid this is, but it's hitting the stock hard because they're not sure how far this goes, and there's just more uncertainty. But for a company like Walmart to get hit, they potentially could be fined by the U.S. government because there are laws on the books here that prevent U.S. companies from engaging in corrupt practices overseas. So I bring this one up just to keep an eye on it over the next coming months because Walmart's going to get themselves embroiled in some big investigations.
And one more. Is it fair to call Kellogg's a bellwether stock? Because they're down. They're now bad.
I bring this one up only because I try to find canaries in the coal mine or other symbols of what's happening in the economy. Kellogg's came out this morning. We know Kellogg's, they make all the fancy cereals.
Eggos, things like that.
Their profits have gotten hit a little bit, and they are saying that there's some food inflation. The cost of ingredients is going up, and if their sales are going down, that tells me that folks are, trading down from Kellogg's to maybe some more generic brands and cereals. Again, something to keep in mind as we're seeing this economic recovery. If Kellogg's sales begin to improve, then I'll be more comfortable that we're seeing a better economy. But as folks are trading down, that's a point of concern for me.
And at last check, the Dow Jones Industrial's down at least 140 points, we'll say-ish. And that's a lot of the reasons. All right. Thank you, Steve. We'll talk about it next week. Hopefully a little better. That's right, Lisa.